All right, everybody. We're live. Here we are. We made it together. 4 smiling faces ready to serve today. So first of all, I just want to welcome the 3 of you onto this class. Thank you for coming. Very much appreciate it. I'm Lynn Pelzer. I'm the COO at Femcity. And today we are talking all about how to create a vision board for 2023. So I really love this topic. The first vision board I ever did, truthfully, I thought it was a little hokey. I didn't really understand it. And so I went through the process and it was amazing. So I'm really thrilled that we're doing this at the beginning of the year. And what I'd love to do is have each of you introduce yourselves. We'll kind of go around the circle. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do. And the first question is, what's your method and or advice on how to create a vision board? So Dr. Melinda, you get to go first because you were the first person I saw today.
Okay, hello. My name is Dr. Melinda Hill, and I am a Maxwell leadership coach. And so what I do is I come alongside leaders and help them bring out the best in their resources, which is their human resources. That's your number one resource, your human resource. So I'm a leadership coach, and what I like to do when we are working with visioning and visioning board is I use a positive psychology methodology. And so positive psychology, we're going to start with our mental fitness. We're going to start with self-leadership. And if you've done a vision board, you're like, I do it every year, and a lot of it doesn't manifest. A lot of times it's going to start with mindset, because we are energy, and you cannot attract positive things and positive energy if you have negative talk about yourself, others, or your circumstances. So it really starts with a positive mindset and mental fitness. And so that's where I come from when working with the vision board. Self-leadership. How are you talking to yourself? How are you talking about your situation? And how are you talking about others in your life?
I love it. Like, that's sort of a little exercise to do before you even get started, right? And
absolutely. What I do, I treat myself. I'm a radical self-care person. So what I do, my vision board session is next week. I'll be at the beach next week by myself. There's nobody's energy who can, come in the room and mess with my feng shui session. Nobody can mess with my energy because I've got to be by myself. And so I use Magnificent 101. It is a huge session that I do with myself first, and has happy vision board cards that go along with it. But it really is about my intention for the year. And it can't just be about pictures. It has to be about how I'm feeling. How do I feel? And how do I align with what's going on my board?
Okay, I love that. And I love self-leadership. And I was going to ask you to describe it a bit, but you did. So thank you for that. This is a beautiful way to start. Okay, so next we're going to move on. Thank you for that, Dr. Melinda. Julie, you are up next. So tell us a bit about you. Oh, wait, can I just have a mini announcement about Julie?
Sure.
Julie is our newest president, our first announced president of 2023 for West Hartford, Connecticut. So if you know anyone in that area, if you're listening, you want to send them over. She's launching a Femcity there. So we're really excited, and welcome to our leadership team, as well as all of you are global members and our experts really at Femcity and teachers. So we really appreciate all of you. So Julie, tell us about you.
Yes, thank you, Lynn.
You're welcome. Method or advice for creating vision board?
Sure. So first of all, very excited about the Connecticut chapter. So even if you're listening and you're in Connecticut, it doesn't have to be West Hartford. You can be part of our chapter. So, let me know. So I'm Julie Allyson, and I am the founder of Catalyst Life Coaching. And my mission and vision and passion is to inspire driven women to really claim their inner bad ASS. Sometimes I say it, sometimes I don't, but that's what I do. So it's what's going on in your life. If you're feeling like it's time for a transformation, you feel a little bit of a rub, you're like, ooh, what's next for me? I'm the one you want to partner with to get there. Not only to manifest, use law of attraction, and really be clear of what you want, but also take the action, because sometimes we plan and plan and plan and then forget to actually take the action. So there's a lot of accountability in my work. So vision boards are one of my favorite things ever. And so I started vision boarding probably about 12 years ago, and that accompanied by some other like logistic things that Dr. Melinda talked about, right? You can't just sit there and vision. It has to be what's important to me. What do I actually want to do? What are my core values? I use a lot of those logistical things first, limiting beliefs and all of that, and then sit down. And I personally do my vision board in Canva. I just find like it's really simple, so as to not overwhelm somebody that's kind of like, oh my God, this is a huge daunting thing to operationalize. I just use Canva. Some people like magazines and, you know, the tactile person with, you know, glue and all of that, which I've done as well. But every single year I do my vision board. Now there's two schools of thought on vision boarding that I'm sure people have heard. So I just want to touch a little bit on that. One is, don't make your vision board so big that it's unrealistic and your mind's not going to be able to say, I can accomplish that.
Yeah.
And then there's the frame of mind where it's, okay, put things on your vision board of you getting to that stage, or what actions do you need to take in order to get to those things that are your big dreams so that you can vision those. It really is personal to everybody, because some people, if something's too big, they will be like, no, there's no way. I'm never going to have a burgundy Bentley convertible with a tan top. I don't know. I am. But so I don't put the steps to get there. I put the picture of the Bentley. That's how my mind works best. So what's important is just find out what works best for you, because you don't want to be counterproductive and have something that's too big that your psyche will not even entertain. You might need to say, okay, here are the steps that I'm going to take to get there, and have that on your vision board. And whatever resonates with you, there is no wrong answer. Just understand what's right for you. So, and make sure you do it every year and look at it all the time.
Love it. Okay. Couple of things. Canva. I'm glad you said that, because not everybody wants to cut and paste and do all of that, or they may feel like that's too big of a task. And they don't have the items to do it, or the right items to do it. So thank you for saying that, because that's a great option. And not to make it so big, we are all different.
Yeah.
Some people can jump right to it. Some people like I'm details. So Violette and I together are so good, because she's a really big thinker,
That's
and
how
I like every little step along the way. So it's funny. It's such a great combination. So I would rather see, okay, I need to lay it out a little bit on the plan. So appreciate you saying that too, because we got to each look at it differently. That there isn't just one cookie cutter way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. But the important thing is do it. because it works. And at the end of the year, when you can look at it and go, oh my gosh, like you can't expect 100% every year, but you look at it and you're like, wow, like I even forgot I put that on there, but obviously my, subconscious didn't. And then you look and see, gosh, how is this morphing for the following year? Like some things you're going to take with you, some things you giggle at and you're like, oh, I thought I wanted that. How adorable. So it's just a great exercise.
Or maybe I shouldn't have wished for that.
Right.
There's something you want to take off and you're like, actually, I didn't want that much work. It was too much. So
right.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, Judith, if you could introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you and also your advice or wisdom around creating a vision board.
So I have the difficult position of coming after these two other amazing women. And I'm sitting here looking at my notes and I'm going, yep, they talked about that. And yep, they talked about that, but that's okay. I'm Judith Richey. I'm a force for transformation. I kind of specialize in the woo-woo side. I am a spiritual healer. And what I do is I help you use a technique to tap into your soul's deepest wisdom to help guide you as you make decisions in creating your life of your heart's desire. And so where Dr. Melinda and Julie are working in the leadership side and the badass side of it, I'm going to help you when you hit a place that you just cannot break through that block. And we're going to get underneath what's contributing to that block and heal those patterns that are interfering with your forward progress. So if you're a woo-woo kind of spiritual girl and you're in that place, I'm the one to help you through it. I just hosted a vision board workshop in my home for some of my clients as a client appreciation. And we did the cut and paste and glue type of vision board workshop. It was lots of fun. I've been doing vision boards for several years now. And the first time I did it was with a group of women that I wasn't really connected to. I was kind of loosely networking with them around a table at a Mexican food restaurant with a bunch of margaritas. And, I don't recommend that as the way to do your vision board. I really don't. I'm not a heavy drinker. I didn't even have a margarita that night, but I was working on mine. I still have that vision board. And what's interesting is what Julie was talking about, how things carry forward, because there were things I thought I wanted on that. I got them and I went, is that really what I wanted? So when I learned how to access my soul's deepest wisdom, I've been able to use that method to tap into what is it that my soul is guiding me to? How do I fulfill my heart's desires that are given to us by our divine creator that help us fulfill our mission here and carry out our soul's purpose here in this lifetime. One thing I do want to offer about vision boards is they're not goal boards. They're vision boards. And they give you an opportunity to create, Dr. Melinda, you referred to this. How do you want to feel when you're creating these visions? What areas do you want to create visions in? And so I basically break it down into 3 or 4 different areas: career, relationships, fun, and finance. And I create my vision around those specific areas. You can figure out your own areas that are important to you. And the other thing I personally do is I use words to reflect how I want to feel or what values. Julie, you referred to core values. What core values? I'm also a heart-centered facilitator with Danielle Laporte, and she calls them virtues. The virtues that you want to live your life through. So I use words. I keep my vision board right on the wall across from me. I see it every day. So I'm either consciously looking at it or it's coming in subliminally to me. And it just gives me that support that I can revisit often to see if the actions that I'm taking are keeping me moving forward in alignment with what my heart desires.
I love all this heart and soul that you're talking about going into this, because I feel like the feelings part is what can create you to take action, right? On moving towards that. So you're getting all this in, like Julie said, it's in you. When you're looking at it, it's there. And then you put the heart and the soul into it, which is going to make you move forward. And what I also loved, what Dr. Melinda said was, did you say you go to the beach and you get thinking about all this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like you already. So
yes, no, not only that I go alone.
Ooh, I love it. Well, and this is it. I mean, it's different for everybody, right? What they may love. So thank you, Judith, for that. That's a great piece to get thinking about your vision, and it's not just goals, right? It's actually what you're picturing and seeing for yourself, right? What your purpose is. So because you had to go last, Judith, which is so unfair, we're going to go in the opposite direction for the next question. How about that? So you get the floor again. And it is, what are some successes you've seen with vision board creating? So just like a little bit of like, maybe some of your clients, or it can be personal. What have you seen happen as a success?
So I'll speak to personal first, and then I'll talk about client success. Personally, I had a goal of having 40 one-on-one client appointments a month. And I thought, that I'm going to have arrived when I get 40 one-on-one client appointments a month. And when I got there and did that consistently for several months, it was exhausting. And the energy that it took to go through me to be able to support my clients was exhausting. And so even though that was the vision that I had of how I fulfill my soul mission, when the reality showed up, it wasn't the best way for me to fulfill my soul mission. So I was able to backtrack to what is the feeling I want to have when I serve my clients this way. That doesn't necessarily mean 40 one-on-ones a month, but how do I want to serve? So I've been able to examine that and find that there are some shifts that I have been making and I am making in my business that allows me to still create those feelings, still fulfill my soul mission, and serve my clients differently. So that was huge for me because I thought, oh, this is success. Yes, the success was I learned a valuable lesson and took that as an opportunity to make some shifts. Okay.
Love it.
That was beautiful. I do want to go back to this vision board workshop I did the other night. I had a husband, wife that I've worked with, both of them, and they brought their 19-year-old son with them. And he played along and did a vision board with us. And what was really interesting was when I shook his hand, he could not look me in the eye. His handshake was not strong. He was very reticent. It was kind of like, oh, mom and dad are making me come along to do this tonight, you know. And he sat there and I coached them along and guided them through the process. And he just kind of soaked it all in. And when I looked over to see what he was doing, he did this magnificent piece of artwork around one word. He created a vision board around one word, confidence. And he thought, oh, this isn't what, Miss Judith's telling us to do. But the feedback that he received from the other participants, his parents wrote me a note. And when I got it, I read it, our son left and he felt confident.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
So we don't know the impact that we're making when we create these opportunities for others to participate in. I'm kind of emotional thinking about it.
I am too. I have an 18-year-old daughter, so I'm thinking about these things that we pass on to them at that age. That I don't know about the rest of you, but I didn't really have this sort of guidance at that age. We didn't know about these things, so we were figuring it all out later. And imagine being equipped when you're starting out, and thinking about that and just building your confidence. Wow, that's humongous for everything else he wants to do in life. So good. I just want to say good for you and good on you to facilitate that. So thank you, Judith. That's amazing. Julie, what about successes? Share some that you've seen with creating vision board, either you personally or.
Sure. So I first want to start just by saying around what we were just talking about with the 19-year-old, and then your daughter, Lynn, is, I know this is a little tiny bit off topic, but one of my successes is I did this with my niece and my two nieces, and my daughter and my mom and my sister. And my nieces are 15 and 12. We did this last year. We haven't done this year yet because I haven't been up in Connecticut, but I think we in the work that we do every day, we just take for granted that people do vision boards. We take for granted that people evaluate their core values. We take for granted when in reality, that is not the truth. So what a gift it is to say to someone, let's sit down and let me walk you through how you can do this. It's a huge gift. And I think we need to remember as leaders and, coaches and caregivers and all of that we can't take for granted that the wonderful knowledge and the things that we do, that everyone's aware. So I think that's something just to keep at top of mind, and that will help us to be successful in helping people. From my perspective, I've had so many, I would say, successes that have occurred based on what I've put on my vision boards and how I operationalize and leverage my vision board. And I will say that, there's evidence that shows that your subconscious cannot decipher between imagination and reality. So leveraging your imagination, and we think of imagination as something that children do. We imagined all the time when we were young. We get older and we're like, oh, we can't, oh, that's ridiculous, I can't possibly. Well, guess what? We owe it to ourselves to leverage that phenomenon, right? Like, picture yourself driving that car. I do it every day. And your subconscious gets to the point where it's like, all right, well, that's what we're doing. Let's go. Similarly, if you have those negative thoughts and the negative outlook and, all of that, that's what your subconscious is going to be like, okay, well, that's what we're doing there too. So the vision board is, again, it's a tool. that you can surround with so many different important concepts and learnings that it becomes more than just a PowerPoint or a piece of paper or whatever. It really becomes that a significant tool to really accelerate your getting there.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And Julie, it just reminded me of what you said earlier, and you have to keep looking at it. Like, you can't just do it once and stick it away somewhere and not see it again because we're not reminded. So
yeah, mine's on my screen. Like Judith said, hers is right across from her on my computer screen, and I see it, and I'm willing to share it. If somebody wants to message me, I'll share it. Say this is what mine looks like, in case you can Google it, certainly, but to see what someone's real vision board looks like. It's a great tool.
I appreciate that too. Yeah, it's gotta be obvious somewhere that you're going to see it, and maybe you're walking past it and you don't realize how much it's really sinking in, right?
Absolutely.
Just day by day. So that's great. Okay, Dr. Melinda.
Yeah, so as I recall, and I look back over my life, I've been doing this for so long. There is not one role, job, salary that I have not created in my mind first. I have a law of attraction planner. So my planner is my weekly. And I also do what's called a 3 scenes technique. And the 3 scenes technique means I'm singing it and I'm looking to my left, because as you look to your left, that is your future. And so not only am I working in my law of attraction planner, and I'm feeling how I want to feel, and I'm really manifesting it. Like Julie said, you have got to see it in your mind's eye. And so the 3 scenes technique is something that I do on a daily basis for what I really want in my life. And so the vision board, someone just said it, the vision board is a tool. And I like how, Judith, how you talk about the soul and just, what's your soul's purpose? Sometimes we miss our soul's purpose and we don't get to our peak level of performance because we are judging ourselves. We have these saboteurs. And so if you have a victim saboteur, a pleaser saboteur, or you're just hyper vigilant, that has to be under control, because the tool is the vision board, but what's underneath? What's the root cause of you not reaching your goals? And so mental fitness is a key component to reaching your goals. How fast do you bounce back from a negative event? It's like having your hand on a hot stove. You would never keep your hand on a hot stove. You're gonna immediately take it off. So when you're not feeling positive in your body, rest assured, you're not attracting anything positive, no matter what you put on your board. So throughout the day, you have to check in with your emotional guidance scale and how am I feeling? And if I'm not feeling positive, I've got to take my hand off the hot stove, and that's through mental fitness. And the mental fitness, I have a 7-week coaching program that starts to uncover judging yourself, because that self-sabotage, that's huge. Your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. Yeah. Are you looking at yourself in the mirror in the morning and say, hey, Melinda, I got you, girl. I got your back. Let's go do this. Talking to yourself every day, all in your mind, and how you're speaking to yourself and how you're feeling. Because again, you cannot get positive from negative. And you can spend all your life doing a vision board, but you can't get positive from negative. So you have to work on your mental fitness as the underlying cause of why you may not be reaching your goals. And so that's key for me when I'm working with someone on their vision board. How are you talking to yourself? How are you talking about your coworkers, or how are you talking about your team? How are you talking about your husband? Because you cannot get positive from negative. Yeah.
Oh, that is gold. And you know what? Makes me think about the process too, like what you learn in the process of doing the vision board. You may be coming to it thinking, I'm just gonna put all these things I want, and all 3 of you are talking about something that's much more deep than just stuff. It's not stuff. It's not about stuff. Sometimes stuff comes from it and it's nice stuff. but it is, it's the feelings, it's what's going to make you have more joy and ease, and looking at what you're doing to get there, right? You're right. I just love that. Last thing we need to do is final advice. And also, after you do your final advice, just let everyone know. We have some comments actually as well, but let everyone know where we can find you to speak further on anything or see more of what you're doing. So let's go. We'll start with Judith. Final advice on the vision board.
So my advice is realize that this is one tool among many tools in creating your dream life, your life of your heart's desires. And there are many methodologies that help you deal with those issues that Dr. Melinda is talking about, creating your inner badass that Julie talks about. And it's not a one size fits all for everybody. The personal development world, there's so many different methods. And you may need to try and fail and try and taste and try and, oh, this really kind of feels good for me before you settle into a methodology that's going to help you move forward. So I want to encourage you. Say you've done a vision board and you're like, oh, nothing came true on that. I mean, that was just a waste of time and energy and, thought, well, try again, and keep coming back to what is it. My guidance is, what is it that lights you up? What is it that turns you on? What is it that you are so passionate about? And really tap into the feelings of, when I have that, how am I going to feel? And use that as a starting point to then go create your goals, your SMART goals, your action plans, and execute to bring those things into your life. So that's my advice on that.
Love it.
You can find me. I'm very active on Instagram, Judith.ForceForTransformation. I have a course coming up that's going to be released before the end of the month, and it's called Create Your Dream Life. And I'm going to give you 10 steps and maybe a bonus 11th one on how you can start creating your dream life that really helps you live your heart's desires. So follow me on Instagram at Judith.ForceForTransformation, and that's going to be released very soon, within the next couple of weeks.
Amazing. Thank you, Judith. Julie, final advice. Where can we find you?
Okay, so my final advice is to watch this again, because there's so many amazing nuggets that I'm even taking away, and I'm going to watch this again so I can hear my peers, their amazing thoughts, because what I love is that we all are, like Judith said, there's all different flavors of personal development and even vision boards and tools. And you've got, Melinda, Dr. Melinda, myself, and Judith, who are all our styles, are so very different and all very amazing. And it's just so neat to learn from all different people. So one piece is watch this again. The second one is, I would say, is don't play small. Because, we have a tendency to have our ceiling of where we believe we can't get further than this, right? Blast through that. It's fake. You've created it. Society's imposed it on you. Don't play small. Go for the things. And then, utilizing manifestation, law of attraction, positivity, all those things, you'll get there. So don't play small. And you can find me. I'm also active on Instagram, Julie_Allyson_12, and it's ALLYSON. I'm also, my website is julieallison.com. And I do offer a, something that ties in really well to vision boards, which is the Wheel of Life exercise, as a PDF that you can get for free from my website. And it's a really great way to start to understand where your satisfaction is in key areas of your life. And that feeds into, okay, so what does my vision look like? So I encourage you to do that. And I'm also hosting a retreat at the end of March. The information's on my website as well. If you want to get away to the beach by yourself for 4 days in Florida, like Dr. Melinda is doing, you can check that out as well.
Thank you for that. That sounds like a great resource to add into this and work towards it, because you know what? Just before Dr. Melinda says our final piece, you can Google like the steps of cutting and pasting or Canva or like the actual physical putting it together, but it's all the stuff beforehand. This is what I'm hearing from all three of you. Is all of it is key to making a good vision board and making it worthwhile. And what do I do with it? And like Judith said, if it's didn't come true, well, maybe we go back to why. You know, it's not what's in alignment for you, or your mindset isn't right. Your mental fitness isn't right, you know? So, and Julie, yes, it's all fake. This ceiling is all fake.
It is.
We made it up in our heads. I love that.
It's BS.
Yeah. Okay, Dr. Melinda, you are going to get the final piece here of advice and where we can find you.
Okay, so for me, you can find me at melindachill.com. That's why I'm here, just to help you chill. So melindachill.com. So I think God is just so unique. That's my name, Melinda C. Hill, Melinda Chill, just so perfect. Not me, just his will for my life. But anyway, so melindachill.com. And so my final advice for everyone is just, your mind is your best friend. It can be your worst enemy, or it can be your best friend. And just really getting in touch with what is your saboteurs? What are they? And how can you self-command, be in charge of your mind so that you're in charge of your life? And this mental fitness is called positive intelligence. And we use research-based tools to strengthen the part of your brain that serves you versus the part of your brain, fight, flight, or freeze, this left side, that doesn't serve you, so that you can handle life's challenges, have a more positive mindset, have less stress, and manifest the life that you want through mental fitness. And so you can reach me again at melindachill.com.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I want to applaud all three of you for this. It was beautiful. It was informative. I think when people watch it, they're going to realize this is so much deeper than what they might have thought about a vision board. So, and I'm sure it was very inspiring. And I think you're going to get some feedback, and that's beautiful in the chat. So come back to that. If anyone has any comments they want to leave, please leave them for us. We have some positive comments there that we can see, some hellos and some comments about vision boards that they have already. And another Lori is John Will Maxwell certified as well. She wanted to mention Melinda. And a congrats to Julie, a couple of congrats to Julie on your appointment as president of Femcity West Hartford. So with that, we're going to close it up and say again, thank you very much. And you can, everyone that's seeing this now can watch it in the replay in the Femcity members group, or also in our online class section on the website. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, ladies. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.